The night was thick with mist, curling around the street lamps like ghostly fingers. Sarah pulled her coat tighter around her as she walked home from her late shift at the diner. The town of Ravenswood was quiet at this hour, the streets deserted, save for the occasional flicker of movement in the shadows. She had always been wary of walking alone at night, but something about this evening felt different. An eerie stillness hung in the air, and a prickling sensation crawled up the back of her neck. She glanced over her shoulder, scanning the empty street. Nothing, just the dimly lit sidewalk and the distant hum of a passing car. Shaking off her unease, she quickened her pace. She was only a few blocks from home when she heard a faint shuffle behind her. Her heart slammed against her ribs. She stopped, listening. The silence stretched unbearably. Maybe it was just her imagination. She resumed walking, but the sound followed. A soft, deliberate step, then another. Panic flared in her chest. She turned sharply, expecting to see someone lurking in the dim glow of the street lamp. Again, nothing, yet the feeling of being watched was suffocating. The shadows seemed darker, shifting unnaturally as if something moved within them. Summoning her courage, she broke into a brisk walk. Her apartment building was just around the corner. If she could make it there, she would be safe. But as she reached for her keys, a whisper of breath ghosted across her ear. Sarah. She spun around, her pulse hammering. The street was empty. A cold sweat dampened her forehead. Was she losing her mind? Fumbling with the lock, she forced the door open and slammed it shut behind her. She double-locked it, pressing her back against the wood as she struggled to catch her breath. Her apartment was dark, the silence oppressive. She moved cautiously through the rooms, flipping on the lights. Nothing was out of place. The unease in her gut refused to dissipate. She checked the windows, secure, the door locked, and yet, the feeling of being watched remained, an invisible weight pressing against her chest. Sarah forced herself to breathe. It was just paranoia, stress from working late shifts and walking alone at night. That was all. She laughed nervously, shaking her head. Then her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Did you think you were alone? A choked gasp escaped her lips. Her fingers trembled as she typed back, "Who is this?" No response. Her stomach twisted in knots. She checked the peephole of her door, nothing but an empty hallway. Her apartment felt smaller now, the walls closing in. A sharp knock suddenly echoed through the silence. She jumped back. The knock came again, slow and deliberate. Summoning every ounce of courage, she called out, "Who's there?" Silence. She hesitated before inching closer. With her breath held, she peered through the peephole. A shadowy figure stood just outside her door, cloaked in darkness. No face, no features, just a presence. Sarah stumbled backward, heart pounding in her throat. The knocking stopped. Seconds stretched into eternity. Then, the whisper came again, low and chilling. "I see you." She screamed, backing into her living room, grabbing her phone to call the police. But as she dialed, the power flickered, then cut out entirely, plunging her into darkness. The silence returned, heavier than before. Then, from the corner of her room, a breath, "Close, too close." And the whisper, "You should never have walked alone."